Now, the national leader of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, Senator Seriaki Dixon, has formally welcomed coordinators and members of the obedient movement from across the country into the party. The move appears aimed at consolidating opposition forces ahead of future political contests. Dixon disclosed this after a meeting with the coordinators in Abuja. He urged the new entrants to immediately begin engagement with the party's state structures to facilitate their integration. The former Bayelsa governor says he used the opportunity to thank them for the commitment to democratic change as demonstrated during the 2023 general election. He also confirmed that he understands the aspirations and frustrations of Nigerians seeking an alternative political reform, having been in the opposition trenches since 1998. The meeting also witnessed the defection of Bayelsa-based businessman and politician Honorable Depriye Abaye, or popularly known as the Dangote of Bayelsa. Well, as the jostle for NDC tickets continue in the face of INEC deadlines, how is the new party preparing to handle fallout from the losers? Well, legal team leader of the obedient movement, Vincent Otakupu, joins us now for a chat on this. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, it's great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you as always. Thank you for joining us. Well, it seems that NDC is attracting multiple presidential and legislative aspirants on a simultaneous pace. Does the party have the depth and the capacity, whether it's financially or when it comes to the institutional maturity, I should say, to conduct credible primaries that will hold?
Yes, the answer is in the affirmative. The NDC, as a new political party, presents or seems to be a credible alternative. What Nigerians have been looking for and yearning for, because there should be a departure from the status quo. There should be a departure from the old order, from a departure from the way things are used to be done in Nigeria, in the other political parties, that have failed to deliver the democratic dividend and that will better the lives of the people. So in terms of the NDC, the party constitution is sacrosanct, and they have outlined the organs of the party to man the affairs of the party, in terms of conduct of party primaries, in terms of sale of forms, which have already started since the 13th of this month. After the sale of forms, the screening and the appeal, then the primary election proper, which is, I think, on the 27th and 28th, then presidential primaries will come up on the 29th. So in ADC, it is a proper, it seems to be a reflection of what Nigerians are expecting, what Nigerians are yearning for, what Nigerians are begging to have in terms of good governance. So the capacity to handle a credible, free, fair, and fair primary election is already there under the ADC constitution, because we can't have it the way it used to be done in other old political parties, like APC just conducted their primary election. You can see squabbles, political dispute, and contentious issues and responses ranging from the concluded primary election. So I don't think that will be a case of the NDC, because the ideology of the party is founded and predicated on internal party discipline and the best democratic practices, founded on rule of law, founded on fairness and equity, founded on social justice, founded on what you give Okeke, you give Okafo. So I think the preparations are already in place. The primary election committees have been appointed. Appeal panels have been set up. Everything is in place. It's just a question of time for things to commence. So that's why you see people trooping into NDC, because they want a credible platform. Where things are supposed to be done the way, to the expectation of the people. where internal party democracy will be practiced based on the Chapter 2 of the NDC Constitution and the ideology and even the fundamental principles enshrined in the Constitution of the party based on democratic internal party discipline and democratic practices. So there will be no rigging, there will be no ballot box snatching, there will be no, this is the venue of the election. Like we had in cases of APC, some states, I saw in your clip yesterday night. And some persons listed to participate in the primary will come to the venue and say, oh, there's no election going on, no material, nothing. And some other person must have written them somewhere. That is not the case of NDC. On that date, the aspirant will file out, and the people of the members of the political party will be out there to queue behind those who they intend to flag the flag of the party in various capacities in terms of the presidential election, in terms of the National Assembly and Senate elections, in terms of State Assembly and governorship election, and what have you. So I believe that this is the best time for Nigerians to have a new change, to have a new order, based on what the NDC believes in. So that is that.
Thank you, Vincent, for that detailed response. I mean, based on everything you just said, how do you intend to clearly, concisely, and accurately convey all of that to the public? Because, the public is watching all of these changes, defections, jabs being thrown back and forth between opposition parties and the ruling party. But at the end of the day, they're still trying to make sense of everything that's going on between now and 2027. So how does the NDC plan to communicate with the public and ultimately go head to head with the ruling party?
Yes, the good part of it is that now that the presidential ticket has been zoned to the south. And the most credible to our belief, and the millions of Nigerians and youth, working women who are out there, they believe in the mandate of Mr. Peter Obi as the only credible person in this particular age. There may be other persons, but his coming into NDC has given a life, has given a popularity and general acceptance to the people of Nigeria. People of Nigeria have now accepted the NDC. People are trooping up and down everywhere. People are struggling to get ticket of NDC. It was not like that before, but because of the movement of Peter Obi, to show the acceptance of the people, to show what he carries and what he believes in. And what he believes in is in tandem with what the manifesto, the ideology, and the directive principles of the party enshrined in the constitution of the party. So I believe Peter Obi is a disciplined man. Sereke Diskin, who is the national leader of the party, is a disciplined man. The party is founded on a pure democratic leadership. So they will be able to manage the outcome of the primaries. Their appeal panels is there to when you are aggrieved. There are internal dispute mechanisms contained in the party constitution. You report to, and it will be addressed. But I believe there will be you won't have much a crisis like you have in other political party. So for 2027 election to come, the party will have started selling the mandate and manifesto and the objective and ideology to the people of Nigeria. And that's why they are trooping. That's why they are trooping in, because they want a change. Nigerians are only asking for a change. And the NDC have promised them one, social justice, equality and fairness, poverty eradication, employment, education, and what have you. And this is what Mr. Peter Obi believes in, and which is also contained in Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution, which borders on fundamental objective and directive principles of state policy, ranging from Section 18, educational objective, Section 15, 18, 19, up to 17, up to 20, social objective, educational objective, healthcare, and what have you, which the government have refused to implement. Supreme Court have emphasized in litany and copy of cases frustration in respect to those sections of the fundamental objective and the principles of state policy, and say that there remain a dead letter and aspiration which the government seeks to pursue in future. That is not supposed to be so. In the civilized world, people have right to go to school. People have right to medical care. People have right social right to what have you, even employment, even to have a good housing and all that thing. So they are all contained in the manifesto of, in the ideology and the directive principles of the NDC as a political party, and also in tandem with what Mr. Peter Obi is all up is known for. So I believe that they will be able to sell the idea to people of Nigeria, and have started doing that because the face of Peter Obi is a face of good governance, a face of hope, a face of rule of law, respect for rule of law, and what have you.
Vincent, you've been very
Thank you.
adamant when it comes to explaining that the NDC is one that's based on manifestos and principles of and ideology of the party, and that it has great internal party discipline and internal dispute mechanics. That sounds great. But when we look at whether it's constitutions or principles and the likes that you mentioned, it's one thing to have those written down, but it's another thing for when the need to implement these provisions arise. We know that one of the reasons why people are flocking to the NDCs also when it comes to disputes from previous parties. So how effective and affirmative are those internal dispute mechanics in the event that that you have conflicts that emerge, especially after primaries, when losers will definitely emerge? How are you going to manage that?
The way I've said, the party constitution have outlined the internal dispute mechanism that must be followed by an aspirant who is dissatisfied with the procedure for selection of candidate at every primary election. You know that selection and nomination of candidates in any primary election is an internal affair of the party. The Supreme Court have only held in Litany, Atek, Lado and CPC, and also the man is so that the only way the court will come in, the only narrow compass in which the court can open the window, the curtain, and look at the affairs of party is when their Constitution and guideline or electoral act has not been complied with in the selection or nomination process. Otherwise, it is strictly internal affairs. Even issue that has to do with leadership. You can mention the case of Ladibo and Osman, APC and Lele. So many of them, I don't need to bore you with those cases. The principles are settled age-long, anachronistic and crocopia, that the issue of nomination is internal affairs of the party. So the party will be able to manage it because the party is founded on law, on rule of law, and internal party discipline. One, if somebody is dissatisfied with the outcome of a procedure, then there is a way that you have to write to a letter of complaint and appeal. And there's an appeal panel after the screening that you have to complain to. If you are not satisfied, there are other procedures you can also follow. But I know that if things are done in the way it's supposed to be done, what leads to people to go and complain and go to court and do what have you, is when you try to conduct a sham, conduct something that looks like a primary election but not a primary election. The Electoral Act have now circumscribed and prescribed two modes of nomination processes in law. One is by consensus and one by direct primaries. So these are only procedures known to law. And I know the NDC will not follow any other procedure except this procedure. Where they adopt a consensus, there are criteria that must be satisfied. Where there are 2 or 3 persons, you must get consent of all persons who are now stepping down for the consensus candidate in writing, as the case may be. Okay. Then for direct primaries, which is the best democratic way of nominating candidates in the present legal regime, people have to queue and elect whom they want to be their candidate in the election. So if they queue up behind you and someone defeated you in the glare, in the public show, you don't need to go to court. You don't need to go to anywhere. It's only when you try to cut corners, like in the APC and the PDP and other political parties in the past, that is when people now have to go and complain. But I don't think that will be the case of NDC. Peter Obi is known for credibility. He's known for prudence. He's known for what is good. He's known for belief in the people's right, opportunity, and equal play to participate in every democratic opportunity. So, and the NDC too, that is what their mantra is all about. So I don't think there will be anything that will lead to what you have in other political parties where, to your tent, oh, Israel, everybody is scattering. It's a new political party with new ideology, new structure, new directive principle, new vision, and new hope for the people of Nigeria. And I believe that people who are coming to the party are genuinely coming to sustain, promote, protect, and build the party to deliver to the people of Nigeria. Support the mandate of Peter Obi, and they are said the presidential ticket has been zoned to the south. And I believe that people who are coming in are genuinely coming in to leave the party. And I know,
that's your belief.
Like in APC, you can see what's happening in APC.
Well, one moment, that's your belief.
That's my belief. But
yes. But at the same time, NDC is also absorbing former members of the very PDP and the APCs and the Labour parties that you're making reference to. So what are the metrics, quickly, if you can run through them, what are the metrics that you're using to ensure that you're not just transferring the very thing that you're looking to oppose?
No, you look, who is the symbol of those political parties? When you come to APC, who is the symbol? Who do people look up to? Who represent the character? Who represent the hope of the APC? You know. In the NDC as a new political party, who represent the hope? I know that these people who are coming from PDP, and tomorrow or next, now you see people coming from who are dissatisfied with APC. Despite the provision of Section 177.5 that said that if your name is not contained in the list of digital register of members submitted to INEC 21 days to primary election, you cannot move to another political party. You cannot vote and be voted for in the primaries. Those things are there. But you know, some people can also move and just be there and be looking and be giving support without even their name being on the record. So you look at who is the symbol of NDC. Mr. Peter Obi, you have known his credibility. You have known his character. You know his competence, tested globally, tested everywhere. Even the children, market women, even the children in the nursery school can assert. I was in church, in my time here. I finished from a service on Sunday, coming out. One small baby, a small child of 8 years just tapped me when I was hitting balls for Help the Poor, because I'm a member of St. Vincent the Poor. He just tapped me, say, tell Mr. Peter Obi, she should not worry, that God will do it for him. Even a young girl of 8 years old. So that's to tell you, it doesn't matter people who are coming, but who is the face of the party? It's a new political party, and I know that those who are coming must have a genuine intention, because NDC is all about changing the status quo, changing the face of how things are done in Nigeria. Nigerians need to shift from what we used to do to something else. People are hungry. People are dying. People are being killed and slaughtered on a daily basis. The market women are angry in the market. The people who are customers who are going to buy are hungry. There could be nothing that you can do to salvage the situation. That's why the African president, one of the African presidents, said, what right has a subsistence farmer if he's scratching a bare living from the soil, provided the rain did not fall, and he should work at his side without schooling, good feeding, or good health? Certainly he has right to vote and to be voted for. But all these are meaningless. What am I saying? That Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians want food. 3 square meals is not a privilege. It is a fundamental right. To go to school is not a privilege, it's a fundamental right. Medical care is not a privilege, it's a fundamental right. Right to live and be alive in Nigeria, and the duty of the state to protect life is a fundamental right, it's not a privilege. The state has failed, the present government has failed, and the only credible platform, the only credible hope to salvage this situation is NDC and Mr. Peter Obi. So, the Nigerians will support that, and I believe so. They'll support that.
Thank you, Vincent Otakpupu. Thank you for joining us on Newsday to discuss the future of the NDC as 2027 approaches.